Well, hello everybody. Bill Shaka here. Welcome to another edition of the 5-Minute Motivator. I hope you've been enjoying these basically daily editions. I normally don't record one on Sunday. It's a day of, kind of a day to accumulate material for the rest of the week. But I hope you're enjoying listening to these as much as I'm enjoying actually doing them. I want to talk today about resistance and how resistance can actually begin to affect our relationships and our life in general, and how non-resistance might actually be a better approach. Florence Scovel Shinn, in her work from, don't quote me on the exact date, but I believe it was 1932, called The Game of Life and How to Play It, said that nobody can resist a non-resistant person. Now, the term resistance deals quite a bit with a kind of synonym with it called force. And basically, what I'm saying is this: you really can't force anything. You can't force a relationship. Whether it's a business relationship, if you try to force a sales relationship, guess what happens? The sale goes south. If you try to force a personal relationship, it doesn't work. It builds up emotion, and these emotions never go away. The emotions kind of just, you can cover them with a manhole, but they continue to come about. I mean, you know what? If you want to think about force this way, I'm going to turn the camera around and show you a picture of a flower. And I'm not able to turn the camera around, I guess because I'm recording. So I'm just going to turn the camera. And this is a Costa Rican flower. Costa Rica has some really, really great looking flowers down here. They're all beautiful. Now, when you look at this flower, you realize it has to grow according to its nature. You can't force the flower to bloom. Look what happens when it does bloom. It's beautiful. But take a look at this one. This one isn't opened yet. Now, what's going to happen if I try to force this flower to bloom? What's going to happen if I start to kind of tear it apart? Is it going to turn into this? No, what's going to happen is it's going to fall apart. That's the notion of force. The flower is resistant to my force because it's not ready yet. Now, I want you to think about that again in terms of all the different types of relationships that you may or may not be in at any given time. Force and resistance are ways to short circuit anything positive in your life. One of the best examples I have is back in the early 80s when Mount St. Helens in the state of Washington in the United States exploded. There was an aerial view of the crater afterwards, and 70% of the trees, if you look at the crater, were snapped in half. They were just facing downhill because of the force. But 30% were not. And this is something to think about. Why would 70% of the trees snap at the base and 30% didn't snap? The answer is in the kind of tree it was. The ones that snapped were the oaks, the maples, the strong trees, the hardwoods. The force hit it and they wouldn't bend, so they snapped. The trees that didn't snap were the pines, the softer woods, the ones that took the resistance and bent over and bent and bent and bent, and when the force went away, they came back up and back up and back up, and they survived. That's the difference with force and resistance. And again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just trying to give you a little something to chew on. I don't have specific actionable steps for you on how to dissipate force in your life, on how to dissipate resistance in your life. I don't even know what examples you might be dealing with or what specific issues and situations you might be dealing with. It's up to you to determine that. What I am suggesting to you is that you think hard about the notion of how force and resistance work. And if you keep this top of mind, if you keep it at a cognitive, conscious level, I think what you're going to find is that you're going to have an ability to dissipate force and dissipate resistance in your life. And if you do that, it's going to be a happier life for you and for everybody around you. This is Bill Shaka thanking you for listening to yet another edition of the 5 Minute Motivator, and I will see you on the other side. Bye-bye.